Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Money in the Bank pre-show and results. Well, 2016 Money in the Bank pre-show opened up with Las Vegas as fans filed into the new T-Mobile Arena. Renee Young already joined by Corey Graves, Booker T, and Lita. By the way, Jerry the King Lawler was arrested and suspended indefinitely for an altercation he had with his fiance last week. Back to the show. Booker T and Lita was also there. They hyped the show before going back to Tom Phillips in the social media lounge. We go back to a video of John Cena and AJ Styles, and then back to the panel as Graves goes with Cena while the other two go with AJ. Renee and Graves hypes the pre-show matches. Goldust and R-Truth versus Golden Truth versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. We got a ring out after some more hype from tonight's matches. Golden Truth make their way out first. Breezango are out next, and they're just about purple. The tans are so bad. They sell it too. Truth and Fandango start things off, but Fandango is in pain from the sunburn. Truth takes advantage. Goldust and Truth come in to double team Tyler Breeze. Goldust and Breeze go at it now. Truth comes back in and mounts Fandango in the corner with right hands. Fandango turns it around with a distraction from Breeze. Truth gets double teamed in the opposite corner. Truth catches Fandango with a big kick, and both go down, but fans rally. Goldust unloads on Breeze. Goldust nails Breeze and ducks a double clothesline. I actually came home off of work and actually seen. Well, I didn't even go to work. Being Father's Day, they actually gave me a day off, so I seen most of this pay-per-view. I seen the pre-show, which wasn't more than this. Like I said, Goldust and Breeze duck a double clothesline. Breeze pulled out by Truth while Goldust hits the finisher on Fandango for the win. Still to come, the Dudleys versus Lucha Dragons in the Money in the Bank preview match. Sami Zayn walked up with Stardust backstage and wants to talk. Stardust. Okay. Did not see Stardust there. Cesaro isn't in the mood to talk and tells Sami to do it his way. Cesaro will do it his. Cesaro walks out. Or walks off. Renee leads us into a video package for Money in the Bank. Back to the panel for hyping the ladder match. They take a break and see footage from earlier of Roman Reigns arriving. Tom Fuller backstage with Natalya and Dana Brooke for fan Twitter questions. Becky talks about Bret Hart and Mick Foley being inspirations growing up. Natalya names Bret, Shawn Michaels, and Macho Man Randy Savage. Dudley Boys versus the Lucha Dragons. We go back and Mauro Ranallo and Byron Saxton are at ringside. Sin Cara and Kalisto are out first. Bubba Ray Dudley starts off talking trash and shoving Kalisto. Devon Dudley ends up tagging and taking Kalisto to the corner. Bubba misses a cheap shot. Lucha Dragons ended up clearing in the ring and nailing dives outside. They do the Lucha chant as we go back to a commercial before the pay-per-view. Back from the break, Bubba is in control of Sin Cara as fans chant for tables. More back and forth. Bubba with a suplex for a 2 count. Bubba talks trash about taking the mask off. He mocks Sin Cara and gets drop kicked. Devon and Kalisto both tag in. Kalisto unloads and takes out Bubba. He hits a springboard corkscrew on Devon, then takes his knee out. Kalisto slams Devon with his legs and springboards in with a senton for a 2 count. Dudley's hit a doomsday device, but Sin Cara breaks up the pin. Dudley's collide on accident and get rolled up for the 2 count. Devon gets sent to the floor. Kalisto hits the leader to cell. Sin Cara tags in with a dragon bomb for the win. Back to the panel for more discussion on the main event. Back to the panel, the discussion again on more main event. They show a video package for tonight's main event to wrap up the pre-show. 2016 Money in the Bank pay-per-view opens up with a Las Vegas themed video. Live from Las Vegas, the power goes off and we see ladders everywhere. Michael Coleslaw welcomes us and he's joined in by JBL and Byron Saxon. Fatal 4-way to start off the pay-per-view. Enzo Amore. Fatal 4-way tag team titles. Enzo Amore and Big Cass coming out to the ring to a big pop. Out next comes the All Villains as we see the international announced teams are in the arena. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were out next. The tag team champions, the New Day, were out next to a pop. Big E, Kofi, and Xavier mock their opponents as they head to the ring. A big New Day Rocks chant starts as they get ready to start. Kofi starts off with Anderson. Anderson drops him on the shoulder. Kofi runs the ropes and hits a drop kick for a 2 count. Gallows tags in and unloads on Kofi in the corner. Another tag to Anderson for some more double teaming. Enzo and Kofi clear the ring, but Kofi rolls up Enzo from behind for a 2 count. Enzo is surprised. Kofi and Enzo go at it, trading holds down. Well, this is Fatal 4-way. At one point, it started off with kind of like tornado tag rolls. Everybody in the ring. Big E tags and stares down Cass. Aiden English quickly tags himself in, but Big E suplexes him. Big E ends up smashing Aiden to the apron for a 2 count. All 4 teams face off in a brawling. Comes down to Enzo, Cass, Kofi, and Big E. Bob Villains double team Kofi in the corner again. Simon Gotch with a 2 count. More back and forth as English with a 2 count on Kofi. And we go back and forth again. Kofi and Anderson go down in the middle of the ring. Enzo and English come in and go at it. Gallows sends Enzo flying to the floor. Gallows goes on and floors Enzo with a big boot for a 2 count. Enzo counters Gallows for a 2 count. Cass comes back in and cleans house of just about everyone. Cass launches Enzo out to everyone else. They hit the rocket launcher, but Gallows stops the pin. Cass nails Gallows. Someone takes Cass out on the floor. It's Enzo and Gotch going at it now. They hit the whirling dervish on Kofi, but Gallows breaks up the pinfall at 2 count. Big E spears Gotch to the floor. Kofi takes Aiden out in the ring. More back and forth. The end comes when Anderson and Gallows take out the champs. Then hit Magic Killer on English, but Big E stops the pin. Cass boots Gallows to the floor. Big E and Kofi with a double team on Anderson for the win. New Day retain and celebrate. Kevin Owens backstage with Tom Phillips when Chris Jericho interrupts. Then Alberto Del Rio. They all have words for this tonight's big match. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler was up next. Corbin makes his way out first, followed by Dolph Ziggler. They see more international announced in the arena. Ziggler tries to go for the leg early on. Corbin misses a drop kick but comes right back in. Ziggler goes for a bunch of offense but gets nailed by a big right hand. Corbin unloads. Fans try to chant for Ziggler, but Corbin brushes them off and keeps Ziggler down. Ziggler fights back and slides Corbin to the floor. He runs back in with a huge closeout for a 2 count. Corbin keeps Ziggler grounded, but Ziggler fights up and out and gets dropped into the ropes. Corbin with more lefts and rights and boots on Ziggler. Corbin talks some trash now. Fans chant boring at him. Corbin drops Ziggler with a big right hand. Corbin poses to boos. Corbin talks trash again. Ziggler fights back with a strike and headbutt. Ziggler unloads, hits a splash in the corner and a neck breaker. Corbin ends up blocking the Famouser and then blocking a super kick, then nailing a close 2 count. Corbin catches another Famouser and sends him into the turnbuckles. No selling the Famouser. Ziggler nails another Famouser this time, but it's only for a 2 count. Ziggler goes on and readies for sweet chin music, but Corbin ducks and rolls to the floor. Ziggler runs around, slips on steel steps, and Corbin drops him on the floor with deep 6. Ziggler barely makes it back in before the 10 count. Both are down in the ring. Corbin gets up and works Ziggler over. Corbin stands tall and gets some more boost. Into days and the Famouser are blocked, but Ziggler nails a super kick for a 2 count. Ziggler goes on and ends up on the top rope. Corbin crotches him. Corbin with an elbow. Ziggler fights off a superplex and sends Corbin down. Corbin then sends Ziggler to the mat and nails a big end of days for the win. After the match, Corbin stands tall as we go to replays. We come back and Corbin standing tall before leaving while Ziggler is still down. Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Becky Lynch and Natalya was up next. We go to the ring out. First comes Dana Brooke with the women's champion Charlotte. Becky Lynch is out first for her team. Natalya was out next to a pop. Dana and Natalya started things off. Charlotte ends up in, and Natalya tags Becky for a heart attack. Dana comes in, but eats a double hip toss. Natalya and Becky stand tall in the ring as their opponents regroup on the floor. Becky brings Charlotte back in for a 1 count. Natalya tags in and gets a roll up of her own. Natalya fights them both off, but gets a big boot from Charlotte as Dana was holding her foot. More of Charlotte and Dana in control. And they double team and pose over Natalya. Dana with a 1 count and more kicks. Charlotte comes in and keeps Natalya grounded. Becky finally gets a hot tag and unloads on both. She hits the exploder for a 2 count, and Dana breaks the pin. Dana checks in on Charlotte, but Becky comes in with a double missile drop kick for a 2 count on Charlotte. Natalya comes back in with offense. She drops Charlotte, but gets thrown into the turnbuckles for a 2 count. Natalya applies a sharpshooter, but is broken. Natalya and Becky end up running into each other, allowing Charlotte to hit natural selection on Natalya for the win. After the replay, Natalya and Becky look on while Dana and Charlotte taunt them both from the stage area. Natalya then attacks Becky out of nowhere and beats her up. Fans are booing. Natalya walks to the back on her own. We see Becky recovering in the ring and the fans cheer for her, but there we go to commercial. Pay-per-view commercial. Backstage interview with Tom Phillips and Dean Ambrose talking about he will win the briefcase and be the king of the jungle. Regarding the main event, he believes Roman will have fun beating up Rollins. Sheamus versus Apollo Crews is up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Sheamus. We see his recent attack backstage on Raw. Apollo Crews was out next to a pop. Sheamus unloads on Crews before the bell even rings. It finally rings, and Sheamus takes Crews down and keeps him grounded. Crews ends up sending Sheamus over the top rope, but Sheamus hits an Irish curse backbreaker on the floor. Referee counts down. Sheamus with a kick to the back. They come back in, and Sheamus nails a massive clothesline. Sheamus with more big offense as fans boo him. Crews keeps trying to fight back, but Sheamus takes him to the mat. Sheamus with a bunch of forearms, but Crews eventually gets up. More back and forth action. Sheamus with another 2 count and a big forearm. Sheamus keeps Crews grounded once again. Crews rolls Sheamus out of nowhere up for a 2 count. They run the ropes, and Crews hits clotheslines. 3 clotheslines, then a splash to the corner. Crews goes on and drops Sheamus with an enziguri for a 2 count. My feed broke up at this time. I had to refresh quite a few times, and some of it was like this last hour. I didn't catch the middle part to the main event, but I did see your main event. Well, Crews sends Sheamus up over the top rope and falls over the big moonsault to the floor. Crews gets a close 2 count, more back and forth between both guys. Crews goes up top, but Sheamus catches him. Sheamus does a super white noise for a 2 count. Crews takes advantage of it, upset Sheamus for not getting the 3 count from the referee, and rolls him up for the 3 count. Surprise win by Apollo Crews. After that, Sheamus is furious as we go to replays. We come back to Crews making his exit and celebrating while Sheamus argues with the officials. A video package for the next match of AJ Styles versus John Cena. Yep. Even my mom was watching it, so I had to go in her room to watch part of this match. I didn't get to see. I tried to come back in here. By the time I got in here, the match was over. So I'm going to the dirt sheets for the results. Yeah, but my mom already told me. Interference from the Bullet Club. Here we go. Just go out to the ring. Out first comes AJ to a pop. John Cena was out next to a mixed reaction. Crowd is going wild as they wait to lock up. Fan chant for AJ before they even lock up. Cena looks on as they both smirk. The bell rings and here we go. More dueling chants and a stalemate. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles. They lock up. Cena takes AJ down by a headlock. AJ with one of his own. AJ drops Cena and gets a little excited. What I seen on this, AJ had all offense on John Cena. John Cena was getting his ass handed to him in this match. Well, fans started chanting for AJ. Cena ends up countering moves and launching AJ across the ring with a monkey flip. Cena goes for an attitude adjustment, but it's blocked. Cena mocks AJ and gets leveled. More back and forth, dueling chants. They trade strikes again. See what ability Billy in a 2 count. They fight on the floor now. AJ avoids a shot into the steps and runs back in the ring. Challenges Cena to come in. Cena does, and AJ drops him. AJ goes on and drops a big knee for a close 2 count. Well, I have checked another dirt sheet, and they have the reporter had said that there was a lot of talking in this match. Cena was telling him what to do next. Well, Styles with a suplex and some trash talking. Cena fights up, but goes down after crashing in the corner. AJ with a nasty kick. Cena counters with a huge back body drop. Cena hits a flying shoulder tackle, but AJ blocks the next one, and they both go down. AJ keeps Cena grounded with a chin knock. Cena fights out of the headlock and hits the shoulder tackles. AJ blocks it all. More back and forth. Cena drops AJ and fans start booing. He goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but AJ counters and sends Cena out. AJ launches himself out of the ring and goes back in to stand tall for mixed reaction from the crowd. AJ runs the ropes again and dives out on Cena, but Cena moves and AJ crashes hard. Cena brings it back in the ring, goes for the attitude adjustment, but AJ blocks it and unloads. AJ keeps control, but Cena ends up putting him in the STF as the crowd goes wild. AJ makes it to the bottom rope as he breaks the hold. Cena takes them to the top, but AJ avoids and brings them both back to the mat. Cena goes to dump AJ to the apron. It looks like, but AJ gets twisted up in the ropes, hits hard. They go on, and Cena goes for a super attitude adjustment, but it's blocked. AJ springboards in for the phenomenal forearm, but Cena catches him in a position for another attitude adjustment. AJ turns that into a calf crusher as the crowd goes wild. Cena finally makes it to the bottom rope, and the hold had been broken. More back and forth. Cena with a big clothesline out of nowhere. Cena taunted AJ. Goes for the attitude adjustment, but it's blocked. Cena nails the attitude adjustment, but Styles kicks out at 2. Cena goes up top and nails the leg drop as Styles gets up, but Styles barely turns it into a powerbomb. They both go down. Styles falls on Cena for a close 2 count. And then Styles lifts Cena and rocks him as we get dueling chants from the crowd again. Cena fights back. AJ ducks a shot and nails a Pele kick. AJ goes for Styles clash and nails it, but Cena kicks out. As I was going back in my mom's room and caught that. Fan chat, this is awesome as Styles springboards in, but as SSP. But Cena gets his knees up. They both trade multiple finishers. Cena ducks a Pele and AJ blocks an STF. Cena catches AJ for an attitude adjustment, and the referee gets kicked, and the referee is down. Cena has AJ pinned, and my mom was saying for like a 5 count, but no referee. Well, during the referee bump, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson run down and nail the Magic Killer on Cena. They place AJ on top of Cena, and the referee wakes up and counts the pinfall. After the match, AJ celebrated. As we go to replays, and it appears he doesn't realize how he won. AJ makes his exit alone, and Cena tries to recover in the ring. AJ stops at the entrance and raises his arms. We get a replay. We get a video package for the Money in Bank match, and that match is up next. Chris Jericho versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn versus Alberto Del Rio versus Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. We go to the ring. Out first comes Chris Jericho. Cesaro was out next. And we see the Cesaro section. Sami Zayn was out next to a big pop. Alberto follows. And he's the only one in this match to win in the past. Kevin Owens is out next to a pop. Dean Ambrose was out last, and he gets the best reaction. Bell rings and they all start brawling. Everyone goes to the floor but Jericho and Owens. The Olay chant starts up for Sami Zayn. Ambrose dives out and nails Owens. Jericho brings the ladder in, but Cesaro uppercuts him. Del Rio goes to work on Cesaro. They try to tilt the World Backbreaker. And Cesaro with uppercuts. Cesaro gets sent to the apron, but kicks Del Rio and uppercuts him. Del Rio goes to work on Cesaro again. They trade another tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Cesaro with uppercuts again. Gets into the apron again, but he kicks Del Rio and sends the ladder into Jericho. More back and forth. Sammy runs the ropes and dives out onto everyone else. Sammy and Owens go at it. Owens with a big kick to the face. Jericho and Cesaro go at it in the ring. Jericho keeps control using the ladder. He wastes time and plays to the crowd. Ambrose comes in and unloads on Jericho. Jericho stab suplexes Ambrose on the ladder with a counter. Jericho beats on Ambrose over and over with a ladder leg. Del Rio takes Jericho down. Cesaro with an uppercut for Ambrose. Jericho and Del Rio. And a super kick from Owens stops the uppercut train. Cesaro goes to face first into the ladder. Propped in the corner. Owens with a corner cannonball on Ambrose and Del Rio. Sammy blocked the next with an exploder. Sammy has control now. He brings the ladder in while everyone else is down. He climbs up, but Del Rio stops him. Del Rio turns Sammy upside down in the corner. He goes outside and nails Ambrose with a ladder. And Ambrose comes back in and bridges the ladder upside down on Sammy. Owens takes an insecurity from Del Rio. Sammy escapes, but Del Rio slams Sammy on the corner ladder bridge. Del Rio takes Ambrose out in the corner and climbs. Jericho meets him on the ladder. Jericho goes down on his knee. Del Rio grabs the briefcase, but Cesaro meets him on the other side. There was a small video of what was kind of like on the highlight. It was a cool spot by Cesaro. He was on the ladder, jumped to the second rope, springboarding and nailing a move onto, I think it was Del Rio. More chaos at the end with counters. Jericho climbs up, but Ambrose pulls him down and climbs up. Jericho climbs back up, but here comes Sammy. Owens pushes them both over on the ladder. Del Rio nails a backstabber on Owens from the ladder. More back and forth as Cesaro with a Cesaro swing on Del Rio. Jericho also catches a swing and butt into the ladder. Ambrose ends up hitting a big elbow on Cesaro from up high. Fan chant, "This is awesome." Now Owens launches the ladder into Ambrose's back. Owens goes up top and nails a frog splash on Ambrose while he's on the ladder. Sammy and Owens brawl inside the ring. Sammy nails a nasty Michinoku driver right on top of the edge of the ladder, and a holy shit chant breaks out from the crowd. Fan chant Olay as Sammy climbs up for the briefcase. Del Rio stops him and beats him repeatedly with another ladder. Del Rio with a big DDT to the mat. Del Rio makes a bridge from the turnbuckle to the ladder. Sammy fights it with Del Rio. Jericho comes up the other side of the ladder. Here comes Cesaro as well. Cesaro also has a bridge built onto the other side. Everyone fights it out. Up on the ladder structure, it's down to Ambrose, Sammy, Jericho, and Ambrose on there now. They all fight for the case. Cesaro and Del Rio get back into the mix, and all six grab for the case. Del Rio and Cesaro tumble to the ropes. Jericho and Ambrose fall to the mat. Sammy goes up for the case, but Jericho runs the ladder bridge and stops him. Jericho goes for it, but Ambrose stops him. Ambrose nails dirty deeds from the bridge. Sammy climbs up again, but Owens pulls him down. Owens would pop up powerbomb on the ladder bridge. Owens climbs up and fights Ambrose at the top. Owens gets knocked off the bridge. Ambrose gets the briefcase for your win. After the match, Ambrose stood on top of the ladder with the case as fans pop. We go to replays and come back to Ambrose raising the case on top of the ladder. We go to the panel for some more discussion about tonight. Then next up, we got the U.S. title match. Titus O'Neil versus Rusev. We go to the ring and Lana makes the introduction for Rusev. Titus was out next and he greets his sons at ringside. Rusev comes out and they both collide on the floor. Referee ends up counting, but Titus destroys Rusev on the floor. Rusev sends Titus to the steps and comes back in while the referee counts. Titus makes it back in before the 8 count. And Rusev unloads. Rusev keeps control and hits a spin kick for a close 2 count. Rusev wastes time and yells but stands tall over Titus. More Rusev in control. He keeps Titus grounded and taunts him in front of his kids. Yeah, he even walks outside, stands right in front of him and taunts him. Titus finally backs out, fights back, and they get physical. Rusev misses on the corner, and Titus nails a big slam for a 2 count. Titus with a big kick to the face and slam for a close 2 count. Rusev ends up going for the accolade, but it's falling off. More back and forth on the floor and then back in. And then out of nowhere, Rusev locks in the accolade again for the win. After the match, Rusev goes ringside and taunts Titus' sons, wishing everyone a happy Father's Day, calling him a loser. We get a video package for the main event, which is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Out first comes Seth Rollins to a pop. Boos start up even before Roman Reigns even makes his way out, the champion. We get a formal ring introduction from Lillian, and Reigns gets mostly boos. And if I'm not mistaken, I think sometime on Monday, Lillian Garcia was released from her job duties. So to start, of course, the styling, they trade shoulders and we get a big drop kick. Rollins says Reigns out and nails a dive to the ropes. Rollins brings it back in and hits a pair of running forearms in the corner. Reigns with a Samoan drop. More back and forth as Reigns with another close 2 count. Reigns comes off the ropes and drops Rollins. Reigns talks trash and beats Rollins around in the corner. More back and forth as Reigns gets upset because he's not getting his pinfall victory. They end up on the floor and Rollins goes over to the announce table. Reigns goes back in and takes apart the announce table, but Rollins rolls back in. Reigns continues controlling Rollins and slams him into the apron. Rollins sends Reigns into steel steps. They come back in and Reigns hits a big razor's edge into a powerbomb for a 2 count. Rollins blocks a Superman punch and sends him into the turnbuckle. Rollins ends up drop kicking Reigns to the floor. Rollins runs and dives to the floor, sending Reigns to the barrier. Rollins goes for another crazy dive and hits it. Rollins brings it back in and hits a sling blade for a 2 count. Rollins springboards in, but Reigns ducks. Rollins blocks Superman punch. Reigns blocks pedigree. Reigns hits another Superman, but Rollins kicks out of 2. Rollins blocks a spear with a knee. Rollins with a kick from the apron. Rollins springboards in with a knee to the head. Rollins goes to the top and nails a frog splash for a close 2 count. Rollins goes up again and Reigns rocks him. They trade holds and reversals in the corner. Rollins with a corner powerbomb and a big kick to the face. But Reigns still kicks out at 2. Rollins with several charging forearms in the corner. Rollins goes up, but Reigns pushes him to the mat. Rollins climbs back up, but Reigns sends him back down. Rollins runs back up for a superplex. He holds it for the Falcon's Arrow for a 2 count. Reigns fights off a pedigree. Reigns with a huge right hand. Reigns ducks a kick and rolls him up. Reigns with a pop-up powerbomb. They finally get up, trading shots. Reigns drops Rollins. More brawling. Reigns comes out of a corner. Powerbomb with a big Superman punch for a 2 count. Reigns goes for the spear on the floor, but Rollins moves and Reigns crashes into the barrier. And it starts to look like it's going to be a stoppage because the officials and the trainer come out to check on Reigns as he stumbles to his feet. Rollins runs over and brings him in the ring anyways. Rollins then goes for the pedigree, but Reigns rams him into the referee. Reigns nails a spear and covers for the win, but the referee is still slow getting up, and Rollins kicks out at 2. Reigns goes for another spear, but Rollins catches him in the pedigree for a 2 count. Rollins ends up getting the win and the title after another pedigree. Winner and new champion, Seth Rollins, so far. Well, after the match, Rollins starts to celebrate until Dean Ambrose's music hits. World Heavyweight title match was up. He catches in. Ambrose comes in from behind, nails him with a briefcase first, then walks out to ringside, hands the official to ring the bell, comes back in, and then nails Dirty Deeds for the win. A little bit of styling and pinfall. Winner and new champion, Dean Ambrose. After the bell, Ambrose grabs the title, celebrates with his fans as Money in the Bank goes off the air with new champions. It even went past the 10 o'clock hour. I think it was like about 14, 15 minutes after the hour. Well, thanks again. That's it for my video. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I'm be. By the way, if you don't know, just comment, brothers and sisters.